again, y'all. Had a little bit of connection issues, so just moved to a different place so that we can go ahead and stream live. I don't want to be on here long because my phone's about to die, but I definitely want to give you guys some more things to consider and think about and continue our conversation from earlier. And again, like I said earlier, I wanted to title this The Golden Rule, um, based off of the topic of what I want to discuss. But this is going to be, brief, and hopefully this will be like a launching pad for you to go out and do some of your own research and get deeper into the things that we're discussing. And if you're going to do your research, you have to go deeper than Google and the first page of Google and AI. So I want to talk about how you've always been the main attraction, the main resource. And as in resource, I mean in every way. Um, as far as providing the corporate owners profit, business, when it comes to, the music industry, when it comes to entertainment industry, when it comes to science, technology, math, engineering, all of these different industries and these different platforms, you've always been the main resource. And specifically, I want to talk about Sudan. A lot of stuff is going on with Sudan right now. And Sudan, the woman, the nation, when you look at Sudan, she's under attack right now, just like the rest of the world, and many other nations are under attack, being coerced and lied to and trapped in these different games that the few are playing against the many. But Sudan is the third largest producer of gold. Uh, and when you look at the continent of Africa, it comes in third behind South Africa and Ghana. Now, 70% of Sudan's export is gold, and 85% of the gold comes from small scale mining. So you got to ask yourself, where is all this gold coming from? How is it being mined? How is it being produced? It's not being produced from large scale industrial complexes. It's being mined by the smaller scale um, people. And they're taking the people, the nationals of Sudan, and using them as labor workers to actually go out and mine the natural resources of his mother, of Sudan, of their country, to produce this gold and other resources so that they can take control of Sudan. And this is what a lot of different um, nations are experiencing right now. And because of this ongoing war in Sudan, the production of gold has doubled, and some say it's tripled, saying that it's been more than 65 tons of bullion. So a lot of this gold is smuggled by the RSF military, the finer gold. And a lot of this gold comes from different or multiple sites located in Sudan. And Sudan has a lot of golden or gold deposit sites throughout this country. And some say these sites are, well known, and then there's other sites that's unknown. But you have the Nuba Mountains, you have Darfur, the Red Sea Hill, and Khartoum, which, these are the wide known places where they're mining the gold, right? And these are resources that Sudan produced naturally, the gold. Now, one resource that Sudan has that most corporations and corporate owners, they have a vested interest in uh, AI. They're interested in this copper that Sudan produces naturally. And Sudan has an abundance of copper. Not only do they have an abundance of copper, they have an abundance of iron and uranium. So these natural resources that she produces, that Sudan produces, is actually something that people who have invested interest in AI would actually have an interest in Sudan. Another major resource that's slept on, that Sudan possessed in her womb, is rare earths, okay, deposits. And these rare earth deposits are very crucial to the funding and the building of the technological age that we're in now. Another major resource that Sudan has is her water. Okay, her river. Now, her water serves as a major production of hydroelectric power and agriculture, and you can also throw in transport as well. So that's why Sudan is very when you look through the corporate lenses, is a very lucrative piece of land for them. We also see why now China is investing so much in Sudan oil, because not only does she have gold, she has oil, she has copper, she has uranium, she has iron, she has rare earth deposits. She has a lot of resources to offer, just like our women or women um, in general. She has a lot of resources that she provides, right? And so naturally, if you have an agenda, you're going to be looking at Sudan or a woman as a resource to tap into, especially if she's not utilizing these resources herself. They're saying, well, we're going to take advantage of this. And that's what we see happening. Um, but of course, we see that China has been not only investing in Sudan, she's been they've been investing in a lot of different resources on the African continent. Peace and love from Romania. How you doing? Now we also see that um, because of these investments in the Sudanese womb, or I should say landmass, we see a lot of different people vying to get there. Say you in the car smoking and preaching. No, I don't smoke and I'm not preaching. Um, so let's put everything that we just covered in perspective. Gold, Sudan. If we look at Sudan as a nation or as a woman, Sudan, she produces a lot of natural resources. And if you look at some of the resources that she produced, the gold would be her heart. Okay. And it represents the eternal light, it represents the sovereignty that she possesses. And if her heart is blocked, then the people that's her children, they will forget their real worth and their dignity and their sovereignty. And ultimately, they will lose their inner light. If we look at copper, another precious metal that she produced or element, copper represents the love or magnetism and the healing and communication abilities that Sudan possesses. And copper is a conductor of energy. So copper is like her circulatory system. And if it's blocked, then relationships get corroded. Uranium is another precious resource that she holds, and that's like the Kundalini energy. That's something that is hidden within her. That's her hidden power. It's the raw, radioactive, dormant, coiled force underneath the surface or underneath the ground or deep within her womb. And if it's misused, it becomes chaotic and a weapon. And that's what we see taking place right there. A lot of the people there, there's a split between the people, and they're warring and fighting for the land right now. The iron represents her bones, and it's like the willpower or her strength, protection, the discipline, and her self defense. It's her her muscular skeletal system. And if she's lacking in this area, she becomes passive aggressive and vulnerable to corruption and invasion. So that's what we're seeing now. All of these big time elite corporate leaders are invading this country, and they're actually trying to take our resources. The river that Sudan has is her womb. It's the womb of life. It's the flow of spirit, and it's her reproductive or emotional system. So if her river is polluted or blocked, then the nation becomes clogged with trauma and guilt. So a lot of people right now, in Sudan is fighting for their land. They're trying to actually maintain and keep their land as they're being displaced from these wars and this political agenda. But when we look at the rare earths that Sudan possessed, that would be equivalent to their ancestral memories. And that would also be representative of their spiritual technology and hidden gems deep within herself. So these are her genetic crystals, her talent, her divine blueprint that's buried deep underground or within her. And they awaken um, when the children are active. So they awaken her children to reconnect to her, and this helps reveal their true identity and their purpose. And this is their birthright. This is any nation as a woman, this is her children's birthright to connect to that cosmic knowledge. So if it's stolen, then the people lose the connection to their cosmic knowledge, which is their ancestral birthright. So the current power struggles there that we're witnessing in Sudan is not, it's not happening by chance. This is all part of the plan and the battle for Sudan and her resources, which is a part of her, is actually something that we all can relate to because even on this landmass and abroad, we see that foreigners are trying to take control of the land. And these natural resources are important to pushing forth AI in this new age. So this is why the eagle and the dragon and the bear and others and other private heads are there to devour her. So women, children, men, the elderly are all being displaced right now in Sudan because the goal is to take the resources and remove the people. Now, if you remove the people, you have easier access to the land and the resources without all of the pushback from the people. And the goal is to remove millions from this territory, from their own homeland, in order to take the country's resources. And this is, you know, again, we see this happen all the time. It's happening now. And here's another thing to consider. Sudan, with her natural resources, like a woman, she's naturally beautiful. She don't have to enhance herself with all these, fake or synthetic things. It is naturally beautiful, and that's what we like as men. We like the natural beauty, all right, and that's what we're seeing. Um, Obviously, the corporate owners they look at Sudan as a woman. They like her natural beauty as well, which she was already gifted with, and that's why they seek to take it. Um, Now, Sudan, her children is fighting back against the real criminals, the real thugs. Now I know they call us thugs. They label us thugs, and some of us even have songs promoting that culture. But the real thugs who steal continents, they're the ones who are taking the resources on this planet Earth. Even when Tupac said that thug life, he used it as an acronym when he said true heroes under God. But these people have taken it to another level, again stealing continents, and they're fearful of when you come into your right mind that you'll do the same thing to them. But we've shown that that's not even um, something that's at the forefront of our mind, because we can't even get over the basic simple things. But again, these thugs, they steal continents, they steal resources, they steal everything. And it doesn't that seem a little bit fishy, or it seems interesting that the few, no matter where you go on this planet, seem to rule the majority. And they're able to organize, strategize, and execute better than any other group, as if their survival depends on it. And that should give you a clue that something is different about these people. Okay, these are the youngest genetically modified people on this earth. They're younger than us. Peace and love, be till it. They're younger than us, but they've managed to take over the elderly of all the nations. Okay, and they've been able to successfully take over the masses. So we're looking at, and we were told about this situation in the Planet of the Apes. When you look at the Planet of the Apes, You see that these this species was able to take over the humans, and as the story unraveled, the humans was the ones who were mistreating the apes, and then the apes gained power, not just on that planet, but on other planets. When Mark Wahlberg's character was able to get off of that planet and go to another planet, he escaped thinking he would be free, only to find himself in another reality where the apes rule there too. That's something that we're still experiencing now, and it's kind of like with our people, we done seen it all. You know, cataclysms. We done seen earthquakes. We done seen hurricanes. We done seen tornadoes. We done seen ice ages. We done seen the fire from above. All these catastrophic events, and we're kind of like roaches or bugs, where we still, are unscathed by this stuff. We have survival in our genes, and we're not really pressed to gather resources, because we know that we're going to be here just like the resources is going to be here. That's the kind of mind that our people take on, but not for the few that's ruling this planet. It's kind of like they know that they have to take over everything, um, for survival, because where they came from, they've actually destroyed their planets, and now they're actually doing the same thing here. So we kind of see that um, movie being played out before our eyes with Planet of the Apes, and we see how these people, no matter what, they are able to organize and strategize and execute their plan with a sense of urgency. And our people don't do that, because we kind of like, well, it's always going to be here, um, and we don't have that let's dominate and rule uh, like they do. Now, I'm not saying that it's absent. It may be dormant in us, but as of right now, what we're seeing all over the world, um, the few continuously are going after all of the resources. All right, the few are continuously going after the main resource, which is you. Okay, no matter how you look at it, they want your mind, your heart, your soul. They want everything you have to offer, because you are the resource. They want to harvest you. They want to harvest everything about you and use it, not just for um, entertainment, but for their studies and everything. Peace and love, Riri. I'm glad you can make it on. Um, Hope you guys go back and check the live from earlier. We talked about a little bit about the AI from earlier. We talked about, the race for global domination. And now, again, I'm just touching on the main resource, which is you. And I tried to compare that to nations. And I wanted to start off with Sudan, and compare Sudan as a woman, and how she has many precious resources within her body, which is the earth. And these resources continuously are exploited by the few who are not from here, which is a fact, who are actually, again, harvesting everything about you. The information concerning you, everything is about you, that they are desiring to harvest. Now, we see this again in movies, and movies are actually documentaries that are actually telling you what's happening. And we have a situation where a lot of the our people, at least, they, again, they're so docile, and they don't see these things taking place, but it's right in our face. um, Everything when we see on these open markets, as far as the trafficking, and as far as the harvesting, is all about you. Okay, you are the core system. In the beginning was darkness. Okay, and that darkness is you. What travels faster than light? The darkness. Okay, because you're already there. They're all always harvesting you. It's always about you, and a bunch of these other beings have the go ahead to harvest you. And because of certain treaties that was made, certain agreements that was made, um, galactic treaties that were made in order to snatch you and harvest you as a farm. So Earth has become a farm. It was a school system for learning. It was a paradise at one point, but then it became a school. and then a prison, and now a farm. So you have all these different components happening, and this cycle continue to happen because we have these same people pushing the same agenda, using their puppet masters to um, carry out the same task, okay, to keep you distracted and sleep as they continue their operations. But we're moving to a point where Earth will no longer sustain these actions. So it's best that we wake up as a people. And again, I said earlier in the other live, some of the things that you need to do, again, get in alignment with yourself and your mission and with your soul tribe if you can. Some of you guys came here and traveled in groups, and it's up to you to run into them again and meet them again and build with them again. Continue what you guys set out to do and where you guys left off so that you can, um, continue to carry out the task and awakening people and doing your part. Because every single time that these people uh, can do these operations, no matter when you incarnate, you're going to always need people like you to do your work and wake them up. All right. Do anybody have any questions before my phone die? And I'm thinking about having somebody, a special guest. We can go live and they can share some of their experiences, real encounters, I should say, very, very eye opening, that will help you to mature and grow up faster in this reality so that you can get a grip of what's to come. Because some of the, like I mentioned earlier, some of these beings, when they, or entities reveal themselves, a lot of people's hearts going to explode because they can't fathom the thought that this stuff is real. Okay, we got a question. B Tillett, what about Third Eye Atlas? Okay, yeah, I still have my reserves about that. And matter of fact, I want to do a live just on that because it's a lot of discussion, and I seen certain scientists retract that statement. So I actually been waiting for them to say something else, specific scientists, and on this subject matter. But I definitely want to do a live on that. Um, Riri says next live I'll ask a question. Okay, and you should do a call in also. Like a call in? Do you mean like just a check in where you check in? I mean, we do meet on Wednesdays, and we have class. We have a lot of great information that we be covering there. Um, and these classes, again, they're not for my aim with them is for you to get this information so that you can know who you are, more about who you are, more about historical events, and how they're not isolated from, they're all connected basically. And before you get active and doing different things, or as you're active, you'll be able to have a solid foundation and a base without just going out here doing things. But yeah, we definitely do that every Wednesday. And if you're interested in that, you can go ahead and email me, and we can see about adding you to that class, making sure that you can get the information. Okay, let me go pick you up. But yeah, I definitely wanna do a live on that. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe I'm just trying to make sure that I've been waiting for this one scientist, and I've been in contact with another scientist. and a physicist. I wanna have him on the channel as well. I think that would be good for everybody to hear out of his mouth, um, some of the things he found and some of the things that um, it goes against mainstream. Okay, definitely is not what mainstream is pushing, but when you hear the facts, you'll see for yourself. So I'm thinking about getting a couple of special guests on. Um, of course, we got to build this thing back up. Was that what you referring to, Riri? As far as the calling? Again, and y'all know what's gonna be happening tonight with all of this stuff. More so a general call in for questions and discussion. Oh, okay. Yeah, that um yeah, if you guys are interested in that, just email me and I'll get a consensus of, how many people, and we can try to work out like a schedule or a day where we can do that. But we do have Wednesday. We definitely can start off there. Let me see if I can put. Let me see if I can add. Yeah, I'll add my email to this in the description. And you guys can email and let me know if you're interested. Oh, yeah, B. Tiller, thank you. Always enjoy having your perspective on these topics. Be safe, peace, and love. Oh, yeah, definitely. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you all for tuning in. And I always, hope that you can take something away from these things so that we're not just, hoarding or grabbing information just to have it. Share this with other people if you can, and also spread the word so that you can wake the next person up. Okay, it's literally like that movie They Live, and when you realize that some of the people that will be your best allies, the ones you have to fight, you got to fight them and wake them up. Not fight to destroy them, but fight to wake them up so that you can have another ally, a strong ally in this great spiritual warfare. All right. Okay, I'll email. Thanks. Yep. And this way, when you have more people on your side, you're able to actually be more impactful when you guys are flowing from the same source. And they don't take all. You just need a few. We need a few effective people that can make a true impact, a true change. All right. All right, yeah. So, again, thank you guys for joining this live. I'm gonna keep you posted, and we're gonna continue to share information, and we're going to continue to keep ourselves safe and spread the word. So you enjoy your evening. Be safe out here. All this stuff is already popping off. Stuff already happening out here where I'm at. But you guys stay as safe as possible and know that this is a ritualistic day for a lot of the elite. So, you know, try to counter that with your energy and, keep the children and those people who are being under attack during these times in your thoughts, in your energy, in your prayers. And if you can, do something about it. If you can, do something about it. All right. So, again, peace and love. See you in the next live.